Okay, let us get set up. Now, I hope the sound levels are okay, because I have been messing with sound levels a little bit, so things might be a little too quiet, a little too loud. Whichever one, please let me know. That does help out quite a bit. And let us get this going on the telephone as well. And then I think we will be good to go. Alright. Live stream phone, and I think that sorts us out just about. But we're going to wait for a couple more people to filter in before we start doing anything all too interesting. We'll see, maybe. I'm not really sure what I wanted to do today in terms of playing Helldivers 2. I don't really have a set thing I want to test or check out, so I think we'll just maybe look at the major order, maybe play a bit more of the sideboard games to see how things are going. If they're still available, actually, they might be gone. No, they're still here. So we could play that in team, or in teams, and see how the Vox engine changes feel in that context. Hello, audio, how's it going? I'm probably going to be a shorter stream today. I am very tired. But we can definitely do some good stuff. Ugh, I don't want to play Mindless Masses, though. Maybe later, but terrible, terrible subfaction. Let's just warm up with a nice Cyborg solo game and see how that goes. Man, commando missions. Commando operations low-key kind of piss me off because they take up one of the operation slots, or two sometimes even, on planets, so you have a smaller selection of missions you actually can pick from, because one of them is always taken by commando operations. I really hope when the planetary system rework happens, they won't be competing for the same slots. What's up, Mario? Why did you pick a cat for your profile picture? Is it your cat? Unfortunately, it is not my cat, but I just like cat profile pictures. I feel like it's a timeless classic. This one, I think, has a social media. It's called Oye or Doodoo. I forget. It's one of those two. I think one's a nickname and the other one's the real name. But I just thought this was a funny picture, and that was that was really my thought process. Not much more to it than that. But it's a cool cat indeed. Blitz, neutralize ground. I think all of these are War Strider seeds, so fuck it. Let's just do a random one. Enthusiastic about upcoming cringe? We'll see. I mean, we are playing Helldivers 2. We're playing Helldivers 2, so something cringe will happen. I'm sure sooner rather than later. But again, I have no goal in mind, so if people want to suggest things they want to see me use or test out, I would do that as well. But first, I'm just going to warm up with a nice, relaxing automaton cyborg game. Because I did the Vox Engine video, right? And then no Vox Engines showed up. And that was the first time anybody's ever been upset about that. It was not enough Vox Engines showing up. But I don't know. People said the spear was supposedly really good against Vox Engines. I don't know if that's cap or not, because anybody who's glazed the spear usually has been capped in my experience. But we shall see. Past 1,000 divers. Hours in Helldivers. I need a job. Yeah, understandable. Got my pucks around PFP. Gotta start playing Elden Ring again, though. Man, I still haven't beat Elden Ring. I should go back and beat it at some point. I did like it quite a bit, but I was really into Dark Souls, and I feel like I burnt myself out on well, I mean, not burnt myself out, but like got everything I wanted, if that makes sense, from that FromSoft style game before Elden Ring even came out. Okay. So if I have the spear, I might want to take the Senator. No, the pistol, I think. I think the pistol will pair pretty nicely with the spear. And low-key, this might be kind of dumb. I'm thinking shield grenades. That might be a little too dumb. I like shield grenades, I just never use them because it's so difficult to include them. Let's try it. Fuck it. We're probably not going to finish the match. Just want to warm up a little bit. job in 1,200 hours. It depends when you started. Like, I've been playing since launch, on and off, so it's like you naturally just accumulate a lot of hours if you play for a long time. Also, guys, let me know if audio levels are good, because I was tweaking some settings, so they might be a little funky right now. And I cannot tell while I'm streaming. The last Darktide stream I did, I went back and you could barely hear me talk, even after I adjusted audio levels. So that was why I'm a little cautious. The audio's good. Okay, maybe. Let's see if it maintains itself in combat. What I can say is that the visuals are not good, because what the fuck? Again, the only daytime operation was the commando mission, and I don't really want to play commando missions. I like, you like Night Rain, but you don't like being chased by the storm. Yeah. It was such, like, a weird direction to go in, I feel like. I mean, I know some people that go crazy for Night Rain, but most people I know who liked Elden Ring are not, like, maybe played 1 or 2 matches of Night Rain and then just dropped it immediately. Okay, what is shooting at me? It's probably a War Strider, by the fact that I feel angry. But actually, the spear might be pretty decent in these conditions. And by these conditions, I mean just being able to see absolutely nothing. What's up, Minotaur? Alright, can I sneak in and actually get a hell bomb going before, yeah, the bot's coming? It seems like no. I thought, oh, I did not hear you coming at all. And I'm out of ammo, so I better not miss. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot what it was like to play a game that doesn't have any half-decent audio cues. I got too used to Darktide that, yeah, now I just need to ADHD look in every single direction all the time, or I'll get insta-killed. Man, that's one of my longest running complaints with this game. It's just the audio's so bad. You don't hear any game audio. Okay, that's the problem. I see. I can fix that in like 1 second. There we go. That should fix it. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Now it should be working, but please let me know if that actually did anything. Okay, let's pistol you. Okay, we missed, but that's fine. I think 2 pistols is enough. I feel like maybe the spear is a little bit better these days, because the pistol, I feel like, is a really good, like, pairing to it. It's like kind of the Senator on crack, I feel like. Oh, Vox Engine already? Okay. Where was he during the video I was intentionally wanting to show up on? Okay, yeah, shield grenades were really dumb. I'm gonna get no use out of these. I really don't know why I went for that. I guess I just, awesome. Just wanted to. Okay, that's gonna need to do some good work for me. Yeah, audio's back. Okay, that's good. Because I was messing around with multiple different audio tracks. And just to mix audio a little bit better. Because that's my perpetual op on Darktide. It's audio levels. Voice is loud, but no game audio. I hasn't come back yet for everybody? Okay. Maybe that message is just a little delayed. Well, this is a War Strider mission with 1 trillion War Striders at night. So, I'm quickly losing my will to play this specific mission. Let's go do something else. Right, if it's, I don't know, let's run it a couple more times and see if the audio gets better or not. Because, most of that match there was no audio, but really did not want to play a second more of nighttime War Striders. I guess we're going to more nighttime War Striders because all the fucking missions are at night. And I'm too lazy to refresh them by dropping and leaving, but we'll see. Just seeing a War Strider gives you chills? Fair. War Strider PTSD is real. Awful, awful, awful enemy. Still probably not the worst, honestly. There's so many bad enemies they've added in, honestly, since Super Earth, I feel like all the 9 out of 10 enemies have just been terrible and not fun. Like Leviathans suck, Flesh Mobs kind of suck, Dragon Roaches suck, War Striders suck, the Rupture Strain sucked. There were a couple good ones in there though, like Agitators and Radicals are good, and the Appropriators are good. But overall, it's been a lot of whiffs. It's been a lot of airballs. Probably a skill issue, but you struggle with the missile pistol. It definitely has a learning curve because the missile's very slow. Bring thermites. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, even if I insta-kill the War Striders, I still don't like playing missions they're on. Because they're so obnoxious with the ragdolling and the flashing lights, and it's just, there's always so many of them. I don't know. If I have a choice, I will always pick a mission without War Striders. Like, even though they are way better than they used to be, of course. Because now they're actually, like, not a complete garbage enemy, they're just 90% garbage. Is there an actual way to tell if there's going to be War Strider? Yeah, some missions have a... Oh, my phone is blocking my screen. Missions, like different mission types, have different, like, likelihoods to have certain seed types. So the Orbital Defense one, like, almost always has War Striders. Which probably means I should not have picked it, but I felt like all the missions that were available to me had War Striders at that point, so I should have just bit the bullet and restarted. Okay, are you guys gonna be a nuisance? Yeah, it seems like it. Thankfully, we have pistol and... Okay. Is the... What's going on with the pistol? I guess it's a little bit less reliable, or it has like a limited range or something. Strange. Okay. Oh, I didn't even grab the backpack. That's how cooked I am. Spear backpack. Yeah, oops. At least we're in this area. How it feels seeing you stream while I'm at work. Don't worry, I also stream on Tuesdays. I try to make that pretty regular. This is probably going to be a shorter stream, if I'm going to be honest. I am very out of it. Every single mission you play as War Striders. Some enemy, or I think some sub-factions have War Striders like all the time. Like the Jump Brigade, I know for a fact, has War Striders literally every single mission. I don't think they can't even get tanks at all. I'm not sure what the Cyborgs are. I think they can get both. I think they're like the normal automatons in that field. War Striders also build up in abundance later into the mission. You're completely right. I genuinely think something about their spawn might be broken. And that's just causing them to scale like way harder than they should be into like the later game of a mission. Because I have noticed what you mean. Like, War Strider numbers start out somewhat reasonable. I mean, like, 0 War Striders is the true reasonable War Striders. But they start out, like, manageable. And then, like, as the mission progresses, it's just, like, spam, 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 spam forever. Belt-fed backpack. Belt-fed pack. The belt-fed grenade launcher. Man, I wish I liked it. Because it's fun to shoot. It's got, like, a good feedback to it. But then it doesn't do any damage. You use so much ammo to, like, do very little. I don't know. I wish it was, just one of those weapons that is, like, cool, but kind of ruined by, like, the final balance pass. I mean, there's a lot of those in this game, but it's definitely not, like, completely worthless, but I would literally always rather pick something else if I was, doing any sort of, trying to be optimal at all. But, you know, you don't have to be if you don't want to be, but at the same time, where am I stuck? Oh, there's a barbed wire, and he's going to use the force to ragdoll me, as he is known to do. I don't think I can get the pistol shot on him, but I can get a sick headshot on that guy at least. War Striders between 2 dropships is how solo players cope with it. I just don't play War Strider seeds, honestly, when I do bot missions. Like, I just, if I see War Striders when I want to do a video, I just re-roll the mission until I don't get them. Because I still just don't like fighting them. I still think they're not fun. But if you, like, do want to deal with them, I feel like, of course, if you have, like, Thermites and Ultimatum, like, they're not that bad. Like, War Striders, like, that's the really annoying part about them, is they're not that difficult, they're just really annoying. Because if you just bring anti-tank every match, right, like, or Recoilless or Quasar or anything like that, like, Quasar plus Shield Backpack, like, deals with, War Strider's absolutely no problem as a solo player. That's how I feel about Alpha Commanders. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. My hatred of Alpha Commanders is profound. They did get way better recently, but I still think the Bogs are, like, by far the worst faction in the game. I really do not enjoy them. Okay. Let's use a 120 that way to deal with this. Maybe I could have shot one of those dropships down, but not super necessary. Stop you in your tracks. And deal with you pretty efficiently. This might be bad for me. Yes, I've made a horrible mistake, but did not have to pay the consequences for my actions, aside from a really funny low ragdoll down the hill for 20 minutes. Not too clean of a kill. It's always tough to headshot berserkers. I feel like they move in such like an unpredictable way. I guess you gotta wait for like the sway when they put like the weight on their other foot. There's like a midpoint where they kind of keep their head there, yet like right there. But it's still definitely one of the harder enemies to headshot reliably on the bot front. That enemy doesn't exist with AT options. Yeah. Man. The whole War Strider debacle pisses me off so much. It's like the most like Arrowhead thing to be like, okay, we're gonna make an enemy to make the game harder, but then it's only gonna make the game harder for people who aren't running the meta, and nothing changes for people who are running the meta. And they do that shit all the time. Just all the time. I mean, like Rupture Strain, the most obvious example. So that's what always pissed me off about the War Strider discourse. It's just like, they're just bad for the game, and I think Helldivers 2 would be improved if there weren't any War Striders in it. That's how much I think that enemy is in a terrible state still. At least they don't scatter. It wouldn't be better if there's a group of 3. If you're talking about Alpha Commanders, yeah, the fact that they don't spread out anymore is so nice. That was like some of the worst design. Honestly, I despise that feature of them. Because it made them so annoying to deal with, especially on, like, cave missions. That was, like, the true nightmare. Extremely unpleasant to deal with those guys on cave missions. Justify tanks having War Strider stats and Ragdoll. Yeah, tanks being strong is fine. I'd also be fine with War Striders being strong if they spawn in reasonable quantities, but they just don't. They spawn like they're Hulks, but they're stronger than tanks. So it just doesn't add up, you know? Okay, I'm having an okay-ish time with a spear. I still think it's bad, but it's definitely less bad now with an extra round, even though I don't think that really fixed the main problems with the spear, which is, of course, the fact that the lock-on kind of doo-doo. Okay, nose diving for me. There we go. Have to blast 2 charges, which is a little tough. It is very difficult to hit that weak point on the Scorcher Hulks with the pistol, because it just moves so slowly. Where is it? It's over there. Let's just equal air strike and get out of here. Can Alpha Commanders call in bug breaches? Yeah, they can. They can call in bug breaches and their reinforcements while their heads are removed. Or while they're gassed or confused. Like, they don't give a shit. But that's not unique to them. Every enemy does that. It just kind of blows across the board. Okay, here's actually one thing the spear is really good at. It like outright kills dropships, which is more efficient than shooting the engine, I think. Like, when it comes to actually killing the enemies like that drop from it. Okay, I feel like I'm not getting much out of the thermites either, but that was what if there's a War Strider's pick. It'll help with Vox engines if any show up again, because I feel like Vox engines just do not show up for solo players very often. Okay. Not that I'm complaining, that was like the only thing that made Cyberstan tolerable solo was Vox engines actually scaled like acceptably. Okay, snipe you before you ragdoll me. Snipe you before you kill me, or just miss all my shots. That was suppressing fire. that's Oh, is this the Invincible Trooper? No, they're just terrible hitboxes. Okay, and there we go. You do it before warriors. Yeah, it's like... It's crazy. I think it's genuinely first frame of their animation. They summon the warriors successfully. Because, like, you can stagger... Oh, actually, we can get some pretty good shots here, I think. You can stagger an alpha commander, like, before he actually does his, he summons his minion. But the instant he sees you, he just starts that animation, and immediately he summons his guys, and you cannot stop it once it starts. Unless you just, like, instantly kill him before he even gets to the chance to I guess, cast his summon, for lack of a better way of describing that. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Keep forgetting about this thing. I gotta turn it off before streams. Hope that didn't jump scare anybody too loudly. Fucking hate that piece of shit. So loud. The Vox engine used to just manifest out of thin air. Yeah, like, literally the first Cyberstain video I did, like, a Vox engine just appeared out of nowhere, like, in front of me. And that should really have set the tone. But I still had rose-tinted goggles, and I was still enjoying Cyberstain at that point. It was only, like, about a week into it, I think, where all the flaws really started to manifest themselves. Bugs have so many units to call reinforcements. Yeah, I do really hate how the reinforcement system works on the bugs, because it's just like, on the squids and the bots, like, there is skill expression, where it's like, if you're smart and you snipe the right enemy quickly enough with good aim, you can, like, avoid, like, a bad encounter in a bad spot. But the bugs are just like, nope, it's just a timer. Every like, minute and a half, there's a bug breach. And either you run away from all those bugs, or you kill all of them instantly. Or then you just spend the entire mission fighting, like, a single bug breach. That's just how they work. Didn't participate in Cyberstain much. You really did not miss out on that much, I'm gonna be honest. The Cyberstain campaign was a kind of boof. There were good parts to it, like the music was really good, the visuals were really good, and some of the cyborg enemies are a lot of fun, but overall, I think Cyberstain, like, was one of the more skippable events. In terms of not missing out on the story. It was really nothing. It was like, oh, we're attacking Cyberstain, oh, we lost, and nothing changed. It wasn't like a cool or interesting event at all. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff with the Thief Troopers, but that was, if you read about the Thief Trooper excerpts, you got the same experience as the people who were actually playing, because that was the only way in which that was communicated to us, was just some text. So, I don't know. I feel like every campaign, ever since the Super Earth invasion, has been super missable, because none of them have been super interesting. Or, like, functional, honestly. Into the Unjust was at least, like, had interesting ideas, it just wasn't fun to play because it was broken. Okay, that's awesome how the spear can't lock onto that, because there's a tiny little fence right there. Makes total sense. Okay. Now, where is this last fabricator? I think it's going to be a little bit deeper in the base. Raise the flag on Cyberstain, literal hell. Yeah. I was not exaggerating when I said that was the least fun content. I remember I made a video on that, a Raise the Flag in Cyberstain. I was like, this is genuinely the worst the game has ever been. And at the time, people were not ready to hear that. But I think now I've been vindicated. Because I think a lot of people realized that mission was just complete dog shit. With on Cyberstain with Vox Engine and War Strider spam, it just was not fun. I actually do like Raise the Flag, though. I think it is a little too unforgiving, especially considering how every other mission is really easy. I don't think the flag progress should reset if you're pushed off of it. That's the only thing I would change. But in terms of missions, like, it's actually a mission where you are encouraged to fight enemies, which is, like, the main, like, beef I have with mission design right now, is you just want to be running away all the time. And, you know, you can hold the shift key in any game. It's not an exciting mechanic. It's not really interesting to do. Which is why I think it's a big mistake that it's just the way Arrowhead wants us to play the game, more or less. Okay. Maybe we can snipe some of these guys from up here. Well, that is really annoying for me. Especially because I'm about to be smoked, but that doesn't really impede my visibility all that much. At this angle, yeah, because the grenade was down there. Gotta win MOs for rewards. Yeah. It's like, you're right, the experience of fighting there is like the only thing you really get out of MMOs. Like, the rewards aren't really a factor, but it's like, if the experience of fighting there sucked ass, then you miss out on nothing by not fighting there. And that's like, my stance on the whole Cybersand MMO is just, it wasn't that fun. Okay. The scrapped automaton boss up there on the, well, maybe not scrapped, maybe we'll still see him, but I think that's early access design, or not early access, but an unused design for automatons. Alright, and let's get this. Clip of a factory engine, yeah, the box engines would, they would get into strange places. Because, God forbid giving the enemies Hellbot steering lock. We gotta stop Helldivers from going up on high ground. But the enemies, that's okay. Doesn't bother anybody at Arrowhead. At least Vox engines are better now. I mean, it's like, it's a couple months too late. But, hey. I still... Can we please actually run into one so I can test the spear against this thing? They're just not spawning. Okay. At least we have a good smattering of objectives right there. That seems to be the disable or compromise defenses, and that one's really, really good to get. That just helps out a lot throughout the mission. One of the coolest objectives they've added. I feel like Arrowhead is really sleeping on a lot of things, but side objectives especially. I feel like adding side objectives is just like universally popular. And just gets people interested in something, you know, because it's like a relatively low effort way to have new content that's available in like a lot of different... Oh, this is bad. I survived for now. Yeah, for now is the operative word right there. Okay, let's use our Eagle airstrikes, and then we'll use the 120 on the actual objective wave, I think. You are lost in the sauce, so I'm going to put you out of your misery. Why does Arrowhead sometimes care more about enemies than players? I mean, like, it's a joke when people say that, but I think it's more so that Arrowhead cares more about the experience they want Helldivers to be than they care about people actually enjoying playing their game. I think that's, like, been their problem the whole time. It's like, they want their experience, like their intended experience, no matter what. And even if people don't like it, then that's tough shit, you know. Which I do not think is the best way to develop this kind of game, especially not a live service game that's supposedly gonna last 10 years according to Arrowhead. I'll believe that when I see it, because at this pace, we'll be lucky to have 5. But who knows? Maybe they actually did have a change of heart with this last patch. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I don't want to say it's completely impossible as well. Stranger things have happened. What should be challenging? More ways to fail missions? Yeah. I was midway through a mission redesign script when Skatari came out, so I haven't really worked too much on it yet. But that was one of the things I mentioned. It's like the missions that actually have a fail condition and actually like require you to fight enemies and do something, like that's how you get cool challenges, you know? Like even things like rapid acquisition, which were a little bit like controversial, not everybody liked them. Like they were memorable because they were an interesting challenge where you had to play differently than you normally did. Okay, this is still a lot of enemies, god damn. Well, that's gonna be tough because I don't have any stims. But it's like all the cool missions, like Repel Invasion and the Scientist one and Extract E711. Like, those are the missions that are difficult. And I feel like Arrowhead, if they really want their difficulty, they should just be doing shit like that. Instead of being like, okay, we created an enemy that has no weak points and it ragdolls you. And there's 5 trillion of them. Because that's like the worst way to do difficulty. It's really... It feels like something an amateur studio would do. Which, I don't want to call them an amateur studio because I don't think they are. Like, they obviously do have people who are really, really good at what they do. But a lot of their decisions, like, feel immature, is probably the best way I would put that. Or a lot of the ways they go for difficulty is just, like, somebody saying, like, oh, yeah, we want difficulty, let's just crank up the spawn times 500 without really thinking about it. Rapid acquisition was difficult, but it was difficult for a different reason. Yeah, but that's like the type of difficulty that I think is interesting. It's a problem presented to you that requires you to think and come up with a solution. It's not like some random bullshit like 5,000 gunships that can instantly kill you, because it's not a problem. That's just, fuck you, have a bad time. There is no solution to the 500 gunships. I mean, there are ways to deal with them that are better than others, so I guess maybe the better way of saying it, it's not an interesting problem. And it's not one you can really dominate, it's just one you can kind of, like, tolerate. But, like, rapid acquisition, if you got good at it, and you, like, learned the maps, and learned the smoke, like, tack, or just use smoke a lot, I guess it wasn't really tack, then, like, you could dominate the mission reliably. And that's, like, what good challenge... That's the difference between good and bad challenge. Is that good challenge, like, invites you to learn how to, like, overcome it. And be so good at it, okay, that's gonna kill me. And become really good at it. So that's my 2 cents on the issue. Okay. So console player, how good is the custom Galactic War mod? I have not checked it out. Maybe I'm a little bitch made for this, but I saw that you needed to give them, like, command prompt access, and I'm going to be real with you guys. I do not trust the Helldivers community enough to give them that kind of access. So that's why I have not done anything checking out the Galactic War, or the custom Galactic War. But I'm sure they also don't want, like, press. Like, too much press, because that would put them at risk from Sony or Arrowhead or whoever's going to come after them. So it's a twofold reason. But I absolutely do not trust anybody in this community with command prompt or registry access to my computer. Like, I'm in their Discord, I look at what they do sometimes, but that's it. If it ever becomes, like... Or if Helldivers ever gets, like, a real modding engine, or, like, you wouldn't need command prompt access to make something like the custom Galactic War happen, I would absolutely cover it. Especially because then they wouldn't need, like, secrecy anymore, because they wouldn't be, at risk of getting screwed over by, you know, shareholder interests. Alright, there we go. I still, like, very strongly stand by my modding. Like, Arrowhead just needs to embrace modding stance I made a while ago. Because, I don't know. I really don't believe they can maintain, like, this level of patch. Maybe not quality, but, like, philosophy. I don't think they're going to be able to maintain that. I think they are going back on their bullshit, like, probably sooner rather than later. If knowing them. So at least with mods, like, if you don't like it, then you can just mod it out and, like, play your own version of Helldivers. Because I feel like everybody, as many Helldivers as there are, there's going to be a lot of different ideal versions of this game, and just not going to be able to cater to everybody. And then you could also finally get the people who are like, oh, the game's too easy, it's got to be harder, to shut the fuck up, because then you could just make, like, 500 Vox Engine replace, like, every single trooper mods, and then they would have nothing to, like, be annoying about, and they could finally shut up. Because you could just go tell them, okay, go play, like, the fucking CBT mod, instead of, trying to, you know, get Reddit points, whatever the fuck they're called. How do you solo level 10 missions? It's really just practice. It's a combination of practice and realizing that 90% of the stuff you use in multiplayer is just kind of bad. And it's kind of bad, like, for multiplayer already, but, like, it's made up for your team. But there's a lot of things that are viable in, like, a 4-man stack if your team is, like, picking up the slack and carrying you, essentially. That just is completely useless in solos. And there's a lot of equipment like that. So once you learn how to filter out which one is good and which one is bad, you have a much easier time. But really, it is, again, practice. It's very much like a mindset type of deal, where you have to be a lot more conscious of the resources you have, because you have way fewer of them. And you also have to be way more, like, alert, because dying is a much bigger deal. Okay, this is gonna help us out quite a bit. Run diving also helps. I mean, if you run dive, you can beat anything in the game that isn't like rapid acquisition or any of the missions that require you to stand your ground. But run diving is super, super easy. What are your thoughts on the hidden armor pen of enemies? I like briefly skinned the changes. They did not seem that bad. But I'm gonna say what I said in the patch notes. They can't be doing, like, you cannot be serious when you say there are too many changes to list. Like, figure something out. You know, like, I presume you have a studio of professionals. Surely, like, making a link to your blog post and having all the changes would be a trivial thing to do. And it's insane that they didn't do that, and they're just doing this, again, like, oh, we can't fit all the changes. Like, that's stupid. But as to the changes themselves, they're not, like, that bad. Like, I don't think this was done, like, this wasn't, like, a malicious thing, that they didn't list the changes. I think it was genuinely either laziness or incompetence, which, is not reassuring, but it is better than, something like the Coyote nerf. Okay, and Ragdoll, I think that might have cooked me. No, okay, the radicals were not as fast as I thought they were. Let's just line him up and take him down, or the 120 can steal my headshot, that's also fine. Because that is what I called an import. Even though I love the place it's good with, doesn't work because the reload is so slow. You mean the spear? Yeah, stationary reload weapons, I think, did not age well. Like, they worked fine at launch when enemies were way slower and the pace of the game was overall pretty, I would say, slower. It was a long time ago, so maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I remember things feeling a lot slower. But now, these days, it's just, like, constant reinforcement waves, constant enemy attacks, constant patrols. You just, like, don't have time so often to actually find a window to do the stationary reload. Like, the bots are the only place where stationary reload isn't, like, it's just like a normal detriment instead of a massive detriment. But it also does depend on the stationary reload. Like, the autocannon stationary reload or the recoilless stationary reloads are fine, because they're staged and they're pretty fast. But, like, the epoch, god no. Alright, take a sip of water, everybody. I'm losing my voice. From what I saw, none of the changes actually affected the damage that enemies did. Yeah, it was just it seemed just like a way to, like, essentially make mechs invulnerable to small units, but make sure that the units that should damage them can still damage them. So that's why the changes did not, like, honestly, mechs should have just been that way in the first place, so they weren't bad changes. It's just, you have to list them. That's it. Airburst reload is shit. Yeah, I really dislike the airburst. I know it's not the worst support weapon, but it is one of my least favorite in the game, because it's just like a friendly fire machine. And it also feels kind of bad to use, and it doesn't have good stage reloads. Like, everything about it, I don't really love. It's one of those things that it's like, I think the game is a little bit worse for its inclusion. Because I would always rather my team not bring it. Even if, again, I'm being a little harsh. Like, it's not a terrible, terrible thing. Like, it is very, serviceable. Can I get any... No, I can only get the cannon turret. Shall need. The bunker turret still almost shot at me. That'd been kind of funny. Airverse badly needs a buff or a rework. I don't even know what to do with that. It's such a fucked up weapon. It has, like, a really weird niche where it's like a red stratagem in support weapon form, but it's also super narrow in its utility, and it's really janky, and it does a lot of friendly fire. So I don't know. The airburst is one of those things that it's like puzzling to fix, and I don't like it enough to really care to fix it, if I'm gonna be honest. But that's just my personal bias talking. I've been team killed by it too many times. Compromised bot turret side objective destroy stratagem jammer for you yet? Maybe on Cyberstan. That sounds like that could have happened to me at some point, but if it has, it was once, and it was a long time ago, and I don't really remember it. Like airburst on Devastator Surge. It's definitely not a useless weapon. It's just a weird weapon. And weird, I think, in a bad way, instead of weird in a good way, unfortunately. Okay, let's do some anti-air duty with our spear. Oh, or you could just hit a single trooper on the on the ship and not the ship and then do absolutely nothing for me. That's cool, spear. Love the spear. Okay, you are doing some fucking fancy moves, and I do not like that. You are buffing all your friends, and I do not like that either. Man, when they stagger like that, their animation gets so janky. Okay. Bit of a tough situation to be in. And then ragdoll into get shredded by berserkers. No, we're okay. Yeah, I'm really liking my choice of BO1 tactical. Extra padding is just so good. Even on the bot front, I think it like vastly outclasses explosive resistance these days. Still too many enemies for me to want to deal with manually, so the Eagle airstrike is gonna have to do a little bit of work for us. That's a pretty juicy airstrike, I think, because they funnel into that tunnel real well. And let's call another one just to get that cooldown rolling. Seems like there's enough targets for that to be useful as well. Leveler and airburst are like the opposite of each other. Yeah, I feel like the leveler is like, what if the airburst was a better thought out weapon? Like, that was their second pass. So maybe the airburst becoming like a reloadable version of the leveler that's a little bit less powerful would be interesting. I'm not sure what you could do with it. I would definitely need to think about it. I feel like I have a ton of ideas for reworking primaries, because I feel like the problems with primaries are like so obvious 9 times out of 10. But the problems with support weapons is that, like, I don't think they are nearly as obvious. Like, there's a lot more nuance to them. Spear run? Yeah, I wanted to see if it was good against Vox engines, because people have been saying that. And I wanted to see if it was cap. Which it really might be, because usually when people say the spear is good, it's cap. I've seen a lot of people say the spear is good, and the spear has never been good. Though, really, with the extra ammo, it's really not terrible right now. It's just a worse recoilless, which is still, like, useful. It's a worse recoilless that flops sometimes, so it's still kind of useful. I wish the spear was better, because it is cool. I do like guided missile launchers. I think it's a cool niche. It's just the execution, they did not land it, unfortunately. Really what it needs is a direct fire mode. Every single weapon that has a guided mode should also have direct fire. That's like what makes the missile pistol so good for me, is that it does have that, wow, that was pretty smooth landing. That stopped me from actually getting to him. That's kind of gross. Let's 120 it. Yeah, there's more bullshit coming, so the 120 was absolutely the right call. But that's like what makes the, oh god damn, it is a carnival. The missile pistol so good is that guided, or unguided mode, which makes it really flexible in terms of use cases. And I feel like the spear would benefit from that a lot. But the spear actually is decent against dropships specifically. That is one niche I think it is better than the recoilless, because the recoilless doesn't kill all the enemies on the dropship, but as you saw, like, the spear was doing a good job of dealing with all the enemies. It's just like kind of bad against everything else, unfortunately. Usability is what needs help. The damage is mostly fine. I would agree with that. Really just direct fire mode, and then make the lockout mode like a little bit more reliable. Like, it should never be missing. But honestly, as long as you give me a direct mode, I don't care what else you do to the lockout mode, because I will just not use it 9 times out of 10. Really, the main thing is just let me aim the fucking thing, so if I miss, at least it's my fault. Unguided pistol do more damage? I don't think it does. I'd be very, very surprised if it did. But here we go, finally, a fucking Vox engine. So, people were saying shoot the 2 cannons and that will kill the Vox engine. So let's see how that, if that's cap or not. It's a really good change, so you can one tap. Oh, okay, that it wasn't cap. It is actually pretty decent against Vox engines. That's still like half your reserve ammo, so it's not like crazy, but it is good. That is very useful to have, because you can actually engage them at long range. And taking out the cannons, even just one, is useful because that cuts down their combat ability by quite a bit. Hey, maybe I'll make the spear video. I think this is one of the, probably the best niche it's ever had, if it's actually like very good at taking out these guys. And the guiding actually seems more or less reliable because they're big targets and they don't move too much. Okay. And then we clear this out. This should be pretty easy because, of course, all the turrets are disabled. All the bunker turrets are just shooting into the air. Or the man turrets are not disabled. And those are quite dangerous as well. There's a guy there. I really would like to snipe him. Did he just hit me in the face with a smoke grenade? That's kind of impressive throw. Alright. Impressive throw did not follow up with quite the follow-up he needed. I think I just heard another box engine. So I guess now is when box engines start spawning. I'm not sure if I heard one. That might have just been a cyborg, actually. Let's not do that. Okay, this is a pretty tough layout. Yeah, here come the box engines. Now we're talking. So the rail cannon should take you out actually this time. That's why I brought it. I almost forgot. Or it can just fucking miss because it's a piece of shit. Of course it can. God, I love the orbital rail cannon strike. I can't wait for people to tell me it's actually better than I think it is. What a great stratagem. At least the rail cannon strike is good against dragon roaches. It's also not completely useless, but it's close. It's close. It's closer than it should be to complete uselessness for what it is. Okay, where's your other turret? Please don't shoot just yet. I don't think I killed him. I do not think I killed him at all. Do I have time? Yeah, if you stop, I definitely have time. Alright, so it's not a terrible way of doing it. It's not the best way, but data mines revealing. Oh no, that's okay. I'll rephrase my thoughts really quickly because they're not complicated. I think the changes were fine. I think it's it's insane that Arrowhead is just saying like, oh yeah, there were too many to list. Like, that's so unprofessional if you ask me. And it's gonna get data mined anyway, so I don't get why they just don't list it. So to me, that means either A, they're incompetent, and they do not keep good records, so they don't even know what they changed, which is really bad. Or B, they are actually that lazy that they didn't want to put in, like, the tiny amount of effort to actually put in the changes or, like, link to their blog post page with a full list or something like that. Man, I am glad that we got that fucking disrupt defenses objective before doing this, because this is the Hell Fortress. Okay, that's bad. The man turrets are still quite scary. So are landmines that you get knocked into. But again, extra padding does keep you pretty dang safe, even from shotgun cyborgs, who are pretty scary most of the time. Okay, eat up the resources and just leave. Ping the enemy, the rail cannon would hit that. That would be a good change. I feel like I don't see Arrowhead actually implementing that in a way that works, though. That seems like too complicated a system. I don't know. I think it should just, like, have a shorter cooldown and be more, like, or more reliable on its own. But mostly, I think just fucking put the Super Destroyer above the center of the map again. I fucking hate the Super Destroyer at the edge of the battlefield. So frustrating. And, like, that's a reason why, like, it misses, right? Oh, okay. Well, let's extract. Alright, I'm actually... Can I duck behind a rock? I'm gonna take off my sweater and take a sip of water. Gotta stay hydrated. Very important. They knew we would hate it, but we don't hate it. At least, it doesn't seem like people hate it, because the changes really were not unreasonable. I think they achieved, like, what they wanted to do. So, I don't know why they would hide it. There was no intentional reason to hide it. Which is, like, the crazy part. It's just they generally don't give a fuck about complete patch notes, which is bizarre. Because I feel like that's such an easy win for them to start doing that. It's like the bare minimum, and people would, like, applaud them for that. Because, like, that's how low the bar has been set. Unless the code base is completely fucked, well, I'm gonna stop you right there, because... yeah, it might be. It very well could be. But that would be a good change if they could get it to work. Just having a little bit more agency over it is always nice. Why doesn't my destroyer follow me on city missions? Yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off as well. One of many is that they do have the code for the super destroyer to follow you from above. That's what they do on cave missions, on the hive worlds. But for some reason, they don't apply that to every single mission. They only apply that to cave planets, but they apply the mega city behavior to every planet. Even though the mega city behavior is like actively bad. It actively causes you problems. And I don't think it was a nerf, but at the same time, it's like... Maybe it was an intentional nerf. I don't fucking know. I cannot understand the complexities of the inner workings of Arrowhead. Bizarre studio. I don't like that, actually. It's kind of a big problem for me. I think we might not be extracting out of this one, boys. It's not looking very auspicious. I would like to shoot at least 1 or 2 dodges down. Okay, I'm glad I waited, because otherwise I think that would have just whipped straight into a cliff. Shooting down 1 dropship should help us out a decent amount, though. This is a pretty cool sight, at least. I like this biome. It just gets too dark at night, is the problem. I mean, that's true of a lot of biomes, but this one especially, because it's so nice during the day, and then at night it's just like unplayably, it's like unplayably dark. And make sure I don't get flanked. Again, radicals might go actually have audio cues and telegraphs, so you can realize where they are before they ragdoll you and insta-kill you. Again, basic feature that is just like, the bar has been set so low that that's something to be applauded. Okay. These guys climbing the sheer rock wall is a little unpleasant, but this game was made with glue and toothpicks and a lot of thoughts and prayer. Yeah, I believe that. It's like kind of crazy how this game like worked at all and was as good as it was, or has as good of a base as it does when I mean, we've seen how the past 2 years have gone. Can I hit you at all? Alright. But for this game, a set of missions where objectives make impact on each other, that'd be interesting. I think we just need more side objectives that have actual impacts on the mission. I think we can just fucking honestly do away with the ones that don't. Or at least rework them. Because like the research outposts and the illegal broadcasts and all that, the fact that they do nothing is kind of lame. Even if it doesn't even have to be a crazy effect. Like the illegal broadcast, like, could give you more reinforcements when you take it out. Or like taking out the lab, like, gives you a lower cooldown on like a specific type of strategy. Things like that that just like affect the mission instead of just being like nothing objectives. Alright, but I feel a little bit warmed up now, so we can go do something else. But I think the spear, I might do a video on it against the cyborgs, because it did feel pretty decent right there. I didn't have a terrible time using it. Oh man. Mission for destroying eggs or dropships for lower reinforcements or something. That's a note I actually made in my mission rework design document. That's one of the points I talk about, is taking out like outposts and nests should actually do something. Like, it should actually reduce the amount of enemies in the mission. Because I think it would be a much better gameplay loop for the mission to start out really difficult, and you need to, like, clear the map. But then as you clear the map, it gets easier. So you can do objectives once you've done that fighting, and once you've assaulted those outposts, you know? To me, that makes a lot more sense than what it is now, where the mission gets harder as you destroy outposts. So the more damage you're doing to the enemy, the more difficult the mission gets. Which is extremely backwards. Recently, I've been crashing every second match, every now and then in Helldivers 2. Yeah, for me, I only crash these days when there's like a really big explosion and a lot of enemies. Usually on the bugs, because I feel like the bugs make so many particles when they die compared to all the other factions. And they're also really big concentrations. So, I don't know. Oh, man. Maybe one Mindless Masses. I still am annoyed that I don't have a build I actually really like using against the sub-faction, because I don't like the sub-faction, but... Do you want to hear a possible cursed thought about the future of Helldivers 2 support weapons? Depends on how cursed, but go ahead. Okay. Probably make it so less fabricators, less patrols, but larger size or larger reinforcements. Yeah, I think the constant wave of patrols and the constant reinforcement spam is just so tiring. I don't think it's a very fun gameplay loop, and it's especially bad on the bugs. It's a lot better on the bots. And it can be pretty annoying on the squids these days. Ever since they got turbo giga buffed to have just like infinite enemies. Or infinite flesh mobs and harvesters, more or less. Okay, so I think this is actually somewhere where the Belt-fed grenade launcher might have potential. But the problem is that harvester spam is really obnoxious. But I haven't tested the pistol against the harvesters. Maybe it's not bad. I think the coyote is what I want here. I think let's test the pistol, and let's keep thermites, because that's going to be helpful for flesh mobs. Ooh, or maybe gas grenades. Maybe incendiary grenades even, because they got buffed. No, but well, let's just walk through fire, and they just walk through gas, so I'm just going to take thermites. Pyrotechs could work, actually, maybe. Let's try pyrotechs. Those are a lot more reliable than the other fire grenades, if you ask me. And for mindless masses, I think getting a bunch of sentries is probably a good call. Test-link Gatling Tower, probably good, and then... What would be another decent thing? Gatling Barrage? No, maybe I just Sentry Max. I wish we had another... Like, we need, like, an HMG Sentry or something. I hate that this is our only heavy pen Sentry. I guess these two are our only heavy pen Sentries. Because they're just not good. Like, an HMG Sentry would fill out so many loadouts and do so much good, I think. Okay. No, this loadout's a little bit, weak against flesh or against harvesters, so let's take a strafing run instead to help out with those guys. Introduction of universal team loading comes with possibility of two-man support weapons becoming a balancing factor. The Rumpler can finally come back. See, I wouldn't hate that. I'm not against there being co-op exclusive content, right? Because I am a solo player, I get it, that's not who the game is for. But, like, if it's cool, then that works out. But sometimes Arrowhead, at least with the case of the Bastion, it's like, they spend more time stopping solo players from using it than they spend making it fun. And I really hope they don't do that if they ever have, like, two-man support weapons. But even if they're two-manned, like, intentionally supposed to be two-man, I still think they should be usable by one person, just way less efficient. Cringe, would you agree that Punisher, Plasma, and Scythe are the easiest primaries on the bots? Punisher, Plasma, probably. The Scythe is like a really good, like, training wheels to get into headshotting bots, but you still need aim with the Scythe. It's not, like, trivial. So, like, somebody on controller is going to still have a pretty hard time with the Scythe. So I would agree with you with the Punisher Plasma, but I think it's no easier or harder than, like, the Eruptor or the crossbow. Any explosive weapon, really. Lure mines are super fun. I hate how they shadow nerfed the throwing distance of lure mines. They used to go so much further, and they definitely shadow nerfed those things. Okay, let's get some fire dot on these revoltless. This is why I take the coyote on this front, because oh yeah, we're really spamming harvesters, aren't we? Yeah, I guess it is mindless masses. Why would there be voteless and not tons of harvesters on mindless masses? Okay, so this is really bad for me, because I'm just dead. So you can just shoot outside of his eyes sometimes. I think if we spam a couple pyrotech grenades, that might help him out a little bit. Non-guided, let's see if that does anything. It did damage to him. I don't think it brought him that much closer to death. But he should be, yeah, about to bite it, thankfully. Do some dancing. Yeah, man. This is probably where the Balpet grenade launcher is the best, unironically, because it's actually really solid against flesh mobs. Like, flesh mobs are one of the only targets the Balpet grenade launcher is, like, adept against, I think. But, like, look, a couple flesh mobs, I'm already almost out of ammo. The ammo economy on this thing is still so terrible. At least there's a lot of ammo on squid naps, so it's not the end of the world. It does, like, reinforce that this is pretty much the only niche it has, but at the same time, it's still not a great support weapon, even if it is a fun one to shoot at the very bare minimum. There's a ton of fun weapons in this game to shoot, and a ton of them are also good. So just being fun to shoot does not make up for being bad, if you ask me. Like, the Coyote's fun to shoot, and look at how much work it's doing for me against these boltless. Probably one of the best anti-boltless guns in the game that isn't a laser. Because it's got that medium pen piercing function, so it actually pierces through enemies. That makes a big difference. We can stock up on ammo here. We can stock up on dead overseers, or dead snitches. Okay. Let's hit that. Idea for a free stratagem? Yeah, shoot. Damage is kind of shit. Yeah. Man, I really would love for them to turn this thing into like a proper like heavy bolter style weapon. Like, if it should do direct damage when you hit an enemy, and then the AoE can stay kind of small and weak. But if it does both those types of damage, then it could be really interesting and unlike everything else we have. Because right now it's just like, what if the grenade launcher was really bad? And that's the weapon. What if the grenade launcher shot a bunch of grenades, but all the grenades sucked? It's really like the question that was asked when this weapon was designed. Okay, I think I gotta start actually using my sentries, because I'm just gonna be fighting floatless for fucking ever if I don't do that. And now sentries should be debatably tankier. I don't know. I still don't know if they are actually tankier than they were pre-Bastion. But they are definitely tankier than they were post-Bastion. So at least they are going to survive more than half a second, probably. Oh, there's a lot of flash mobs. That might not do great for them. Okay, I really do not want you to call a reinforcement wave before the flag gets here. Ballistics to preserve its safety for shooting closer enemy. Yeah, it should just do direct damage. We don't have an explosive machine gun yet. I mean, maybe they'll give us a bolter with the fucking 40k war bond. God, that's... If you thought truth enforcers were annoying, I pray to God there isn't a commissar armor in the 40k war bond, because you have seen nothing yet if you're not a 40k fan. Because, oh my God. Truth enforcers LARPers are like baby versions of like commissar 40k edgelord LARPers. I feel like the Venn diagram for those two actually might be a circle, if I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I've barely used my pyrotech, but this is a pretty good choke point to use them in. I think pyrotechs might be a pretty good pick against Boatless, because they actually do have incendiary properties, but they work. Unlike incendiary grenades, which very frequently do not work. Okay, let's get those guys set up. We have another Tesla tower, which I would love to throw that way. So I think that would do me a lot of good, or I could ragdoll on nothing, and then that could drop in the pit, and then reef me, and then I'll go to the mission because of that. Okay, that's cool. I really enjoy that. That is a very, very fun thing. Oh yeah, it's way tankier against Helldiver weapons, actually. But no, we got lucky. We can also use a little bit of ammo here, because I do want to fight back for that pit. Let's just walk through the ground fire. Why don't you? Doesn't bother him at all. Alright, see just like one moderate encounter like that, and we're completely out of ammo with this thing already. After like 3 flash mobs and like a handful of overseers. Just like not enough. Still not even close to enough potential damage for this weapon. Okay, but at least we do have another resupply right here. Wait, how did that raise? For some reason, I don't know why, but this has been true ever since launch. The squid version of this mission doesn't require you to clear the flag objective. It is really weird. I don't know why, but it's always been that way. And most likely will always be that way as well. So this does make this a lot easier than it is on the other factions. Again, for very arbitrary reasons. So far, this build feels pretty okay against mindless masses, but we haven't been spammed with, This is kind of scary. Ah, fuck it. I don't care about the 100%. Let's just go. So far, it hasn't been too much harvester spam, which is really what would, I think, put a damper on the fun this build is. I'm not sure about the inclusion of the pistol. It might not be terrible against harvesters, but maybe the ultimatum would still be better. I don't know. Do we have a good anti-harvester secondary? Like, the pistol does the damage, but it's just hard to hit. BFGL has the same total damage as the Plasma Punisher. I did not. That's embarrassing, honestly. How did they look at this gun and were like, yeah, this is good, ship it? That's really what gets me about Arrowhead sometimes. It, like, truly baffles me. I mean, obviously, like, the answer, or the semi-joke answer is that they don't test it, right? But, like, how do you look at this thing, and it does less damage per reload, like, per total ammo cap than a primary, and you're like, yeah, this is good. This is the version we want to sell to people. Always perplexing behavior. This is also a cool planet. I do like an interesting skybox. Ah, fuck, I forgot you bitches were on this sub-faction. Pressing Overseer, my #1 op. The requisition slips, I don't really give a fuck. I would like a Tesla tower here, though. Because I don't want to get chased down by Phobos forever. Yeah, so far this build, I think, actually might be, I don't know. I would probably replace the Beltfire grenade launcher for the autocannon. And then this would be the strongest build. But I've already done autocannon stuff on mindless masses. Like, we know it's good. Okay, these guys are gonna be annoying. Maybe ballistic shield? No, I don't like using the ballistic shield. The one-handed weapons don't feel good to use. I don't know. I really would not want to bring the ballistic shield in a sub-faction. It's too difficult for a kind of a mean pick like that. Why do you have crown? I have no idea what... I don't know any of this YouTube stuff still, I'm gonna be honest. Complete mystery. I'm still not even sure what a hype is. And apparently it seems to be important, but I don't know. I don't even know how to see them, much less what they do. Definitely not quite a professional just yet. Let us snipe at snitches before they become a problem, and then we can maybe take care of this. Stay innocent, my little cringe lad. Thank you. I will try my best. I wouldn't call it innocence. I call it like supreme laziness. Not even learn about these like basic YouTube features. I guess maybe not basic. If it was added after 2012, I'm sorry, it's not a real YouTube feature. I don't respect it. Okay, am I dead? No, I'm just getting comboed. Okay. Thankfully, you missed one of those swings. Please die as fast as possible. Oh yeah, I guess it's also good at the BFGL is also good at doing this particular objective because these things have no HP. They're just really durable. Okay, maybe they were more like 100% durable, but like small targets. I mean, like, we really don't need to push the explosive meta anymore. The only real problem with the Beltfire grenade launcher is the Beltfire grenade launcher. There's not much more to it than that. Did you play Custom Galactic War? No, I have not. I am part of their Discord, but call me a paranoid if you must. I don't want to put any shade on them at all, so don't take it the wrong way. But I do not trust the Helldivers 2 community with access to my command prompt terminal. I would really rather not trust... After the doxing incident, I prefer not to take that risk. It's really not worth it. It's been 14 years since 2012. Why did you have to say that? I didn't need to hear that. None of us needed to hear that. That could have been left unsaid. how time flies. No, 2012 was like ages ago. That is not, doesn't feel like yesterday. I'm not that unk. Okay, let us just tank that to the hell. Thankfully, he only hit me in the brain, so I took no damage from that. I mean, my sentries are gonna get shredded, but that was kind of the plan. Was for them to draw fire away from me. Maybe it was a bad plan. Maybe I should save the sentry, now that I think about it. Okay. That's the one benefit of the Belfast grenade launcher. It does so little damage. It is actually very safe to use. It's so bad that the bad actually makes it kind of good in one stupid way. Which is pretty funny. Is that gonna go... Why would it go that way? Is my real question, but... I'm not 35-year-olds. I resent that. I'm not 30 yet. So I think you have to be 30 to be unk. That's how I would, that's the line I draw in the sand. Sub 30, you're not... You could have unk energy, but I don't think you can be proper unk. This is kind of a lot of hopeless. And this is why I really should have been saving my, my turrets, but at least we do have the pyrotech grenades to help us out quite a bit against these guys. This is... That might take him out. The pyrotech grenades do quite a bit of damage to the harvesters, but not enough to take him out. I have to finish him off myself, but that's not that big a deal. Okay, Tesla tower here, please. I would like to grab this. Tesla tower's a little close for comfort, actually. This might kill me, because it might arc off of hopeless onto me. Okay. He's gonna do some bullshit. This guy's gonna call a reinforcement wave. I don't think I can stop him. He's being too cheeky. I like how he's dodging my attacks before I even start aiming at him. He's just like pre-dodging. I mean, that's a smart thing to do, but very annoying to actually interact with. Okay, best change they've done in a while. One of the best changes they've done in a while was the squid towers now don't need demo cores to break. That actually did make a pretty big difference in terms of build variety on this front, because that was a really annoying thing when you ran into one of those guys and you did not have enough demo cores to deal with them efficiently. Okay, I really would like to actually do this maybe one of these years, but it is seeming unlikely. It's very unlikely because you called in a reinforcement from miles away. I'd also be interested in knowing what happened to my Gatling sentry. Did it instantly die? Oh no, it's getting surrounded and not shooting any enemies for some reason. Alright, well, that's interesting. But I guess now it's probably at like no health at all because it's just getting wailed on. I'm 20 and all my friends say you have Ankh energy. Yeah, you can have Ankh energy before you're 30, I think. It's just like a mindset. Or I guess maybe like a set of behaviors would be a better way of putting that. What's your favorite pyro grenade? I don't know. I like the pyrotechs. I think they have a lot of redeeming qualities, but they're super unreliable when it comes to actually using their demo cores. So they're not the greatest. I would say incendiary impact, but ground fire is so unreliable these days. But if it works, I think incendiary impacts are the most fun to use because they feel like a Molotov, and that's a pretty fun thing. But overall, the flame grenades are just not nearly as good as the gas grenades are. And it's like, it's not even a competition. Gas grenades are just so much better. Which is a shame, because I really don't think they have to be competing for the same niche. I feel like gas could be more crowd control-y and good against small targets, but then fire grenades could be more effective against like medium and like elite targets, you know? That's what I would do to differentiate the two, because gas sucks against like alpha commanders. So that would be a good niche for incendiary grenades, but I don't think they're going to go that way. Incendiary impacts are amazing on terminates. They would be amazing if the fire worked. I think they would genuinely have a niche, but the crowd fire doesn't work. Enemies just walk through it completely unfazed. You ever played Cyberpunk? I actually bought it on sale like a couple days ago because it was like 15 bucks or something. I was like, you know what? I better. I also bought Witcher 3 because I never played Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk. I don't know when I'm gonna find the time to play either of those, but they are big gaps in my gaming resume. I want an armor that allows me to carry 2 types of grenade. Yeah, I wish we had more customization over our non-stratagem side. Like, there's a lot of times where I wish I could have taken 2 secondaries instead of a primary. Or, like, replace your primary with a grenade and you just run around with a secondary and 2 grenades. Like, that would be cool. I think that would add a lot of replayability for very little effort in terms of coding and designing. So hopefully that is something they do consider at some point, even if it is likely not being considered right now. God knows what's being considered right now. I guess the new ship types, which, I'll believe those when I see it, because I really do not know how they're gonna arrowhead that one up, so to speak. Okay, I think this might be a little tough. Please don't use the force to smack me. Alright, he did anyway, because he doesn't give a shit. That Tesla Tower might do some good stuff for us, I think. I am more scared of you than all these effortless combined. Yeah, that's so cool. I love when they do that. That was really fair and fun. Yeah, you guys gotta fuck off. Please. Give me a little bit of personal space. Can I get this before I get it smacked? Yeah. Voltus are, like, kind of annoying still. I've definitely grown used to them. I don't hate them nearly as much as I used to. But they are still definitely kind of a tedious enemy sometimes. The way they just are so fast and, like, keep doing that stupid fucking leap attack towards you. They're so annoying to shake off of you, even if they don't really do much damage. But I don't know, there's so many good ways of dealing with Voltus, at least, where you don't have to worry about them too much, at least. Mr. Cringe, you must give Rockstar $100 now. No, thank you. I've never bought a $70 game, and I will do my everything in my utmost power to never do so. It disgusts me to buy games at full price. I very rarely do it. And honestly, full price is still $60 to me. I haven't processed inflation yet. Non-road core DRG content? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like DRG does not have that big of a YouTube audience, unfortunately. Like, I do like the game, but I don't think the videos would get much traction. Maybe if there's like a big update or a season, I wouldn't be against checking it out, but for now, probably more road core if I'm going to do more DRG stuff. But even the road core, like, streams and stuff did not do super well. Like, they did okay, but I don't know. I feel like the Helldivers content is still my bread and butter, and Darktide content's doing okay. For some reason, it makes less revenue, less ad revenue than Helldivers 2, which I don't really get. Again, very much a novice when it comes to YouTube mechanics. But at least they get a decent amount of views, and I do really enjoy making them. I'm having a blast with Darktide recently. I gotta get into Havoc at some point, but I was considering doing that today and streaming, like, trying to learn Havoc, but I do not have the mental bandwidth for that right now, so I'm kind of just brain rotting in Helldivers 2. Don't abandon base DRG with the existence of road core. I thought they gave it to another studio, like, outsourced the development, which I know is something, a kind of a touchy subject in this community, but it seemed like a reasonable way to handle outsourcing. So you could, like, work on your old, or work on your new game, but your old game wouldn't be abandoned when it really didn't need to be. Which seems like, honestly, the best use case of outsourcing. Alright. Kind of miss going back to the chill mines of Hoxies. Yeah, Deep Rock is fun. I might stream it. I don't know if I make videos on it. But if we're looking for something to play, and I don't feel like playing Darktide or Helldivers or Road Core, I wouldn't be against it. I'm probably not going to do that much more Road Core streaming for a while, actually, because the new patch was, like, kind of whatever, so I'll probably hold on. I mean, it was a good patch, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't, like, new interesting content, right? So, I don't know. I think if they add something new, I will go back and check it out. Maybe like a new boss or new biome or something like that. I don't know why I'm hanging around. We could just sleep. That was surprisingly painless for Mindless Masses, actually. The Harvester spam really wasn't that bad. That kind of felt like what Mindless Masses should be. Like, not an excessive amount of Overseer and Harvester spam, just a shitload of Voteless and a shitload of Flesh Mobs. For some reason, that was the first, like, Mindless Masses mission I had solo that felt like it kind of worked like it was supposed to. If it makes you feel less hesitant, Havoc doesn't really get harder than Auric until rank 26. Yeah, see, it's not, like, the difficulty that's the problem. It's, like, the party finding thing. And I was, like, considering doing it with viewers exclusively, because that seems like that would be easier to set up and more fun than doing it with strangers, because it's a pain in the ass, I've heard, to find parties. But at the same time, I also don't want to be, like, hard carried through the entire process of Havoc, because at that point, I feel like I didn't really, like, earn those stripes. What nerf and buff did you like most at any point, not current patch? I think the best nerf, and people always have beef with me for... No, actually. The best nerf they did was when they made it so that the recoilless rifle could not snap dropships in half. Because that was obscenely overpowered. You just did not have to fight the bots anymore. I thought that was a good nerf. Because very rarely Arrowhead does do a good nerf. And in terms of the best buff, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one a little bit. Because there's been a lot of decent buffs. I gotta say probably the Gatling Barrage, because the Gatling Barrage was hot dog water at launch. And when they reworked it at the 60-day patch, it's just been a super reliable, good stratagem. It's not overpowered. It doesn't, like, impede upon any other niches. It's fun to use, low cooldown. It's good. I think that's my answer. Party findings random isn't that hard, but I do recommend having the inspect from Party Finder mod. Yeah, I gotta get modding on Darktide. Mindless Masses is most brutal in the civilian evac missions. I don't play those. They're so annoying. You tried Far Far West about a month ago. They significantly increased XP gain, including giving old players a ton of free levels. I haven't played it too much. I'm probably again gonna wait for another content drop. I think the best way for me to operate right now is to just, like, cover a bunch of different games, because I really don't want to be tied down to just one game. Like, very sobering, realizing that, hey, like, a substantial part of my livelihood can just disappear overnight if from one, like, stupid patch from lovely developers that we all adore. So I'm probably just gonna cover it again when if there is again like a new weapon or new enemies or the new faction or something like that. AMR changes, those were really good too, actually. Those were also really, really good. The warrant buff was also a really good one. Do you do build requests? I guess I could today. I don't really have any specific ideas. If you have something and it seems fun, I would run it. But right now, I probably... What time is it? It is 3:25. Okay, maybe one or two more missions. Definitely one more mission at least, but maybe two. And then I'll probably call it after that, because I do have a decent amount of stuff to get doing today. The tragic thing is suffering is the most entertaining. Oh, with Helldivers. Yeah, people did like, They enjoyed my content where I was just ranting all the time. But, like, that's just not... It's very easy to burn yourself out when you're just doing that, you know? Like, if I'm not having fun with the game, I have way less motivation to actually make videos and do builds. And then, like, I feel like it comes through in how I talk about it. It's me. Oh, what's up, Cactus? If Helldivers gets a fourth faction, what would you want it to be? I feel like they have all the science fiction bases covered. I really don't know what. I wish they would get a third faction, and that is completed Illuminate. That's my answer. The fourth faction is just fucking finish the Illuminate. It's been like 2 years. Please. You cannot be having a third of a faction. It's ridiculous. Finish the squids. Okay. I don't think... let's just do a bug mission. Just for variety's sake. Not doing good. My health is tanking. Oh, I'm sorry to hear it, Cactus. I know a lot of people have been getting sick recently. But it's tough to stay healthy. Okay. Akamore's not a bad friend. Oh, let's do Mega City. If somebody types in a build before I type or go into the mission, we'll do it. But otherwise, I'm just gonna do a generic bug build. Akamor Core City missions are great. Bug City missions are by far the best. It's like the only time the bugs feel like half a functional faction. Because they don't clip through terrain, and they just don't spam stupid amounts of heavy that do dress through, like, cliffs. Type the build. Yeah, oh, you typed a build. Okay. Oh, okay. Only a bot builds. I mean, you don't even have to type a build. Just ask me if there's a specific gun you want me to showcase off, and I'll be fine doing that. Lip Conk, Flame Dog, De-Escalator, Ultimatum. You know what I like, Noah Body. You know what I like. I'm pretty sure I've used this exact build in a video before. This is a really fun build. The Liberator Concussive, dude. I love that thing. It's actually so good. Everybody hates it. It's kind of sad. For grenades, actually, I'm going to be taking frags in this build because we need some bug hole closing, and frags are fun to use. Alright, Flame Dog and De-Escalator. And probably 500 kg, and then maybe a cheeky machine gun. Or maybe a cheeky Tesla tower. I think the machine gun is a little too unsafe. And a little too flimsy still. Hadn't made appropriators a self-faction and just mix in with the enemies with a lower spawn rate. Having one heavy feels so tiring since they get spammed so much. That's a good point. I think at least one of the mechs could have been added to the main pool, and it would have been fine. And then you keep the other one exclusive. Probably the like the ranged mech would have fit in this default squid roster better. Yeah, you don't have to shill the Liberator Concussive to me. It's one of my favorite bug guns. It feels so good to use on this faction. I kind of like the Lip Dog, but stunning things in place more than knocking them back. See, I feel like I'm the opposite. Because when you stun something, it doesn't create space for you. It just procrastinates it a little bit. But when you push them back, I feel like that's more effective at keeping you safe for longer. And the Liberator Concussive is just a way better gun than the Pacifier or the Palomar is. Favorite guard dog? Probably still the gas dog. I really like how smart they made that thing. It actually feels like a very well-designed stratagem ever since they changed its AI to like spread the fire or the gas dot to a bunch of different enemies. Spear gun. Spear gun is really good on the squids. I use it a lot during Into the Unjust, but I've kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm over it, but I definitely like it less now than I used to. It's just the reload is so slow. And most of the time it's like a tiny little pocket of gas is like not super useful. It's okay. Like, it's definitely still a good support weapon. Don't get me wrong. I think, if anything, it's a little underrated against the squids, especially. It's really not bad over there. But I don't know. I definitely think it's like B tier is where I would put that on a whim without really thinking too much about it. Okay, so this is going to be a bile spewing mission, which is really great. Always brings me joy. Man, I was a little bit hoping the KG crashed my cage, so I'm gonna have to fight a bottle spear mission. But alas. Ooh, that's kind of disgusting. So I can go spam some frags. And of course clear out because that's gonna kill me. Okay. We have frag grenades actually. Well, it's gotta happen sooner or later. It had been a while since I got killed by my own Tesla tower, but I guess out of all days, the day where I barely slept would probably do that. Water break when? Water break all the time. I've been drinking water non-stop this whole every time I take a pause. No, but probably not going to do a break. I think we're probably just going to stop after this round, or maybe one more. So we'll do a water break after that if we keep going. Okay. We can probably finish him off with the De-Escalator. I think the De-Escalator is not bad against bile spewers as well, so we'll be doing okay. But really, the grenade is going to be the premier anti-bile spewer option, I think. Just because it is quite good against them. Can I roll a grenade underneath that guy? At all possible. I think that one got him. He got knocked back by a sieve trooper who shot him in the ass. which actually helped me out quite a bit. But I think I also got the Sea Trooper. The hot dog stun more. Yeah, I think actually that is a good point. In that one case, I do think stun would be better. But I don't think it's better enough to make up for the weaknesses of the stun weapons. Most of the stun weapons are just bad. I think the hull is the only good stun weapon. Because the stun actually like lasts way longer than the other ones, like a full 2 seconds longer. And it also has like a pretty effective like killing mode, where the pummeler and the pacifier really do not kill enemies very well. De-escalator can one-clip a volatile into the face. It's super unreliable at that. It's a very, very unreliable weapon, as all arc weapons are, but I feel like the de-escalator especially. Like in my last de-escalator video, I said the de-escalator like does something different every time you shoot it. It's like an RNG gun. You never know what you're gonna get. Either it wipes out a whole patrol with like a single shot, or it kills nothing. See for better versions of Halo Marines. Yeah, Seaf is pretty competent. I really think they're super underused. I would love to see them in more missions than just mega cities. That was one of the things that pissed me off, like maybe the most about Cybersand. There were a lot of things, but that's one of them was the fact that there were just no Seaf troopers on any of the mega cities. That was like such a big waste of potential, I think. Because Seaf was like such a big factor in like the actual story, and then we just didn't get to see them. I don't know. That was one of the times where I felt like Arrowhead definitely prioritized challenge over like storytelling and a full experience. One of them many times, but what do I know? Okay, Alpha Commanders not running away. It does feel like it actually is making a pretty sizable difference. Spam more frag grenades. And let's get this. I'll die for it, probably, but the objective will get done. I guess that did get its durability buffed a little bit, maybe? Did the survivability of the help, or the help bomb get buffed? Actually, probably not. If emplacements didn't get buffed, I'd be kind of surprised. And I think the fucking oil rig truck also did not get buffed, so be very surprised. Quite a few scary bugs around. And then we can move. Well, we're not going to 100% this mission. I'm fine with that. Still don't love Alpha Warriors and Alpha Commanders, even after the nerfs. They're kind of the same state as War Striders, where it's like the enemy is so ass that even with massive fixes that make it way better, it's still kind of a bad enemy. That's how I feel about both. That's how I felt about fucking Leviathans as well. And Roach Dragons. And the Rupture Train. Quite a few enemies and box sections. Quite a few enemies now that I think about it. I think the Grunt Fantasy is much more fitting for Seaf units than it is for Helldivers. Yeah, at this point, it's like, the Grunt Fantasy is a lost battle. Like, this is not the game for it. Like, I hope for Arrowhead's sake that their next game, they can do the Grunt Fantasy all they want with no, like, Sony oversight, but them constantly trying to make it work for this game has only done them harm. Because, like, I don't think the Grunt Fantasy can work unless you have, like, a really big team. Like, you need at least 20 people. Because otherwise, if you're in a small squad, that's not really grunts. Those are, like, way more elite special forces. So it's like the vibe is all wrong. And then, of course, what we actually do in gameplay is also very much like special forces, elite operator stuff. Yeah, see, again, sometimes the de-escalator just goes hog wild and instantly vaporizes an alpha commander. And sometimes I can direct hit an alpha warrior and he doesn't die. It just does whatever it wants. Oh, did that land off? Yeah, it landed off. But by the huge train drop, it got destroyed somehow. Probably like a bile tank or something nearby. We have a field of destruction that follows them wherever we go. Bro, what? Alpha Warriors are like the ideal chaff enemy? Are they? Completely silent, insta-kill enemy that's really fast. I think they're a lot better now that they don't spawn infinitely, but the fact that they are so high damage while also being completely silent, like, they feel like what if Stalkers were not fair. That's been my perception in Alpha Warriors. And really why I've never liked them. Because I think Stalkers are a great enemy, because they are very dangerous, but they are telegraphed. So if you get killed by a Stalker, 9 times out of 10, it is your fault. Like, you had the means to stop it. And, like, the awareness. But an Alpha Warrior, if you die to an Alpha Warrior, very likely could not have been your fault. Because if he sneaks up through, like, a weird terrain glitch and doesn't make any noise and it gets 2 headshots on you in a fraction of a second, you're just dead. And you might not have misplayed at all, but you still die. And I don't think that's a good enemy design. They can grunt fantasy all they want. RTS Helldivers game? Dude, I'm saying, I think there would be real motion for RTS Helldivers. Like, they wouldn't even need to do that much design work. Like, there's already 3 factions, well, 2.5 factions, like, with completely fleshed out rosters. Like, it'd be super easy to turn, like, the automatons or the bugs into an RTS faction. Like, you really would not need to do that much work. So, if it ever gets, like, spin-off games, I do hope an RTS is one of them, because I would actually really enjoy Helldiver RTS. I would play the automatons, I'm sorry, Truth Enforcers in the chat, but without hesitation. Without hesitation, I would be an automaton main. Okay, let's get that. That probably will not blow it up, but I guess we shall see. Okay, this is a pretty fun build. I have used builds very similar to this one in the past, but these are all good pieces. The de-escalator is actually really good against the bugs these days, just because it works so well against alpha commanders. Is 2 not enough? Okay, I can move some de-escalator rounds. And then we're good. Do I give a shit about clearing nests? No, not really. I'm gonna be honest. Sent flow state for 200 joules. Like, see, I don't know what these YouTuber things mean. Thank you for the flow state. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does, but I appreciate it anyway. See, I never feel more unk than when social media gets new features that I don't know what they do. It is a very unk feeling. What's your opinion on removing both Bureau's War Striders, Rocket Striders, and Crescent Overseers from the game? I think that would be Nobel Prize worthy. I don't know. Some of those... Obviously, I would rather all those enemies be reworked to be more interesting instead of outright scrapped. But I would also prefer them to be outright scrapped than to be left as is. Especially, I mean... No, actually, I hate all of those. Okay, let's not die instantly to you because I am wearing extra padding. Of course, extra padding. Always clutch. Still a lot of alpha commanders. They are like more fun now that they are actually aggressive. Like I still feel that residual dread from seeing them, but they're a real enemy now instead of just like a way to make people not have fun, which definitely a big improvement. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I knew you guys were gonna be there. This is just a very unfortunate situation all around because I almost dove into a pit. Thankfully, avoided it at the last second. I really would like a resupply, but I think that might be not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Replace War Strider grenades with box engine missiles, but less. Absolutely, that would be a really good change, I think. And like limited, just get them like 1 barrage, maybe 2. And then that's like a much better enemy. But then you also have to reduce the amount of War Striders. And if you reduce the amount of War Striders, I think I'd actually be okay with making them tankier. 2 anti-tank weapons at least. I think it would be a good place for the War Strider to be if you couldn't one-shot it super trivially with anti-tank. But it was easier to take out, or like as it is now with the weak points. So like maybe you would need to hit like the leg joint or something with the recoilless in order to take it out in 1 shot. Or maybe not the leg joint, but some weak point that isn't just like half the enemy is what I think would be good. We are never gonna get this fucking objective done, are we? Yeah, because that bug reach is still going forever and ever. I already did call my Tesla Tower and he got killed. I remember now. Did the concussive liberator actually ever do explosive damage? I think it did for a little bit at launch, but it was really bad back then. Well, maybe it wasn't really bad, but nobody used it. I didn't use it, so maybe it was incredible and just nobody knew. But I don't know. I think it'd be cool if we had more like projectile weapons that did explosive damage, but not like big explosions. I mean, we'll probably get like some kind of bolter or bolt pistol for the 40k war bond, but we'll see about that. The legendary war bond track record has not been the greatest ever, as we all know. Okay. This might kill me, but multiple types of ragdolls. I don't know. They already have like degrees of ragdoll. They have like stagger, which, you know, like makes you stumble around. And I feel like they really underuse that. They always go straight to the nuclear option of ragdolling forever with new enemies, like they did with like the Spore Burst Titans, right? Like those did not need to ragdoll you at all. Why'd you never run heavy oxygenator instead of medium extra padding? I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with higher headshot reduction, lower stamina regen. See, I think the higher headshot reduction is actually a myth. It's been said, like, people have been going back and forth on this, so I'm not sure which one is true. But I do believe heavy armor doesn't actually have, like, an inherent armor rating. The armor rating is the only number that matters. So the heavy oxygenator armor ends up just being extra padding with less stamina in practice, or that's at least what it felt like when I used it. And I also kind of like how this armor looks better, the classic Helldiver armor. Plus the extra stamina is actually something I value quite a bit. So those are the reasons why I don't use it. I actually don't think it's a terrible armor, but you know, you start with this one and it does about the same thing. So it's still not particularly useful. Just kind of a weird niche. New Warbond going to be Warhammer one? Probably not. I think the Warhammer Warbond is supposed to come in quite a while. I think it just like got announced because it was like the 40k event thing, which is really bad timing for Arrowhead. That came at that particular moment. But I doubt we're going to see the Warhammer Warbond for at least another month or two. The next Warbond, they're probably trying to scrape something together because like at this point it's more or less proven that the FRVs were supposed to be in the Warbond, right? The supply FRV and the flame FRV. So I think right now they're just scrambling to put something together to replace those things. And that's why it's taking a bit longer than usual. Not that I really mind. This game has enough Warbonds. Like, don't get me wrong, they give me new toys to play with and new content to make. And, you know, that's money. But at the same time, we've got like 25 Warbonds. Like, we're at the point where it's like already it's kind of too many. But also it is like the only way they add content these days, so. Oxy also has a slide. See, I never use the slide. Maybe I should, but I feel like I'm always diving and not sliding. The slide, this is not a Dark Tide or a Titanfall slide. This is a, I guess it is a little bit more of a Titanfall slide with the armor. That's 100% the reference they were going for, I think, was Titanfall. Otherwise, I cannot explain for the life of me why they would have that passive on the mech armor. Maybe that'd be fun, doing like a LARP, a LARPing Titanfall loadout with Oxygenator and like a jump pack or something like that. Maybe I should write that down. You think the new squids are soon? I don't know. I think the new squids would have been soon under Arrowhead's like normal, like all is well schedule. But right now, I think they have shifted their priorities pretty heavily. So I think very unknown what things are going to look like for the near future. It's like kind of hard to present. That was a massive whip on my part. Oh, he can't. He doesn't seem to be able to get up here that well. Just good for me. Oh yeah, man, the Liberator Concussive only got better now that Alpha Commanders are aggressive. Because being able to push them back and kill them pretty efficiently is a very good trade. So I feel like I already love this gun, but it's only better now. Definitely like one of the most underrated guns in the game. This and the Hull, I think, are the two most underrated guns in the game. They're not like secret S tiers, but they are very, very good at what they do. And what they do is actually like kind of valuable, if you ask me. Crowd control is yeah, this Bile Titan fucking Neo from the Matrix. I can't hit him. Yeah, but thankfully Bile Titans are not too scary ever since the hitboxes got fixed. Kind of fucked that an enemy is only scary when he's so bugged he doesn't work right, but what can you do? It definitely takes more than a mag to the forehead if you miss, like I do. Do not. No, we do not do that today. Please fucking get here, Pelican 1. Alright, well, I guess we are doing that today. Well, that kind of sucks for me, but I'm confident in the Flame Dog. Oh, okay, he just spawned immediately, started charging. Yeah, I think we might need to tactical retreat, because that's pretty fucked right there. That is not a good place to be for Helldivers or for bugs as soon as this 500 kg lands. Wow, that did nothing. God damn. I guess they're all in the upper platform and didn't get it by that. Do not go for mine. That's the tower, please. Okay, well, here comes the endless wave of Bile Titan. And, of course, the endless wave of Stalkers. Thankfully, Tesla Tower is goated and locked in when he's not killing me. I mean, he's still pretty goated and locked in when he's killing me, but goated and locked in for the wrong side. Oh, he's not. Oh, he is alive. Okay, he just was frozen in time for some reason. Well, this is gonna suck to push up into here, but I don't really have a choice. I thought I would be around the corner. 2 deaths from the Tesla Tower in the same stream. That's how you know I'm out of it. The hull does need muzzle attachments. I couldn't agree more. Just finished the Darktide run as Ogren. Loyal Protector. Must have tanked at least 100k damage. Yeah, the taunt Ogren is so good with a Sap Shield. Really, really nice addition to teams in Darktide. R&D could spend some money to increase the heat resistance property of shoe soles in Helldivers too. Yeah, ground fire literally only works against Helldivers, and it's fucked. That is so fucked. It's really annoying. Okay, at least we're done with that. So I'll do one more mission, I think, and I'll do another recommended loadout if somebody wants to recommend one. I will not play it if it seems like I'm going to have a miserable time, however. Now that Alpha Commanders have been nerfed, who would you say are your least favorite 5 enemies? That is a highly competitive list. I'm going to say definitely War Riders, because they're everywhere. I'm going to say Rupture Spewers are awful in every metric. There's the fact that they blind you so much is terrible. Dragon Roaches are terrible. I still do hate Alpha Warriors quite a bit. Alpha Commanders are now a lot more tolerable. Alpha Warriors still suck. And Leviathans are also ass. I think that would probably be my list. Thick or liquid smoothie? Thick for sure. No hesitation. How would you rework War Striders, Crescent Overseers, and Alpha Commanders? War Striders, that's easy. Make them spawn less. Make them a little bit more lethal. Like, replace the Grenade Barrage with the Vox Engine, like Missile Barrage. Instead of, so it kills you instead of ragdolling you. And make them a little bit more resistant to anti-tank damage, so you can't one-shot them as easily with, things like the Quasar and the E. Maybe still one-shot them pretty easily with the recoils, but mainly just make them spawn less and make them ragdoll less. Crescent Overseers, kill them. And Alpha Commanders are fine, it's just Alpha Warriors need to make more noise. That's the only problem with them right now, I think. Super immersive at the moment an Ember touches you. Yeah, it's really silly. Belt-fed GL, Tesla Tower, Gas Mines, 500 kg, Street Scout Armor, Giganades, Liberator Penetrator. Oof, you do not put Liberator Penetrator in loadouts. I'm not a big stan of that one. Ultimatum. For which faction? The Squids? I guess that could work on either the Squids or the Bugs. I don't know. I guess this is literally the only time I would ever use the Liberator Penetrator. Built around mortars plus entrenchment tool. It's I don't love the mortars in this game, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, well you're making me play another bug game immediately after this one, so that's gonna be a permaban from the channel, actually. Sorry, I don't make the rules. No, I'm kidding. I'll try it out. I will probably make some adjustments to it though. We'll see. Yeah, I'm literally never going to use the Liberator Liberator Penetrator ever again, because I hate this guy. I really tried to make it work, but I don't like it. I'm too lazy to even get the drum mag, but I really don't think it would change that much. Gas Mines, Giga Grenades, Liberator Penetrator, Ultimatum. Okay, Giga Grenades. Street Scout. That's the light siege ready, if I had to remember correctly. Yes. I don't think Street Scout does that much for the Liberator Penetrator, though. I feel like you would get more out of this build if you took Light Gunner, because that would keep you alive. But I'll do it for the build, just to see how it works. Belfed GL, okay. On the bugs, ugh, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see. Belfed GL, Tesla Tower, Gas Mines, 500 kg. Yeah, that's not bad. The rest of that's pretty good, actually. Really, I think the only point of contention I have with the build is the Liberator Penetrator and the Belfeld GL, but everything else about it is very solid. Gas Mines and 500 kg. Retaking Vitality Enhancement, and let's see how this goes. I might not finish this mission. Have you tried Deadeye on Cyborgs? I tried it for the first time today, and it bullies agitators so much. See, I feel like the extra stacker from the Deadeye is kind of overkill, because the sensor stackers them, but the sensor's has a way better rate of fire. It's just like a better marksman rifle all around. So no, I haven't tried it, but I feel like... No, wait, maybe I did try it. I feel like you don't get that much from it. I think that Deadeye is kind of a... It's a cool weapon. I just don't think it's a weapon that really has that much of a niche. Is light armor even worth using anymore? On the bugs, yes. I think light armor is actually probably the best on the bugs. I would not use it against the bugs or against the bots or the squids, because they do too much range damage. Especially if you're the host, because they're way more accurate against the host. So you die incredibly fast in light armor on those factions. Oh, this is a Evacuate Priority Citizen mission, because the mission indicators are bugged out, so that sucks for me. So we're definitely not finishing this mission, but... we'll see. I'll give it a try. Favorite melee weapon? The hammer. There's no other answer, correct answer to that. Like, the hammer is the only melee weapon in this game, if you ask me. I guess the stun lance isn't, the worst, but it's also not good. It's also not good, either. Okay, let's get Tesla Tower and some gas mines. Tesla Tower's put gas mines is a really good combo, actually. I should use it more often. The problem is going to be with these Bile Titans. Ooh, I'm pretty proud of that shot, actually. Okay, and then we can just stay up on the hill and take out some of these guys. If I prone, the recoil is not going to be too bad, because I do have an angled grip, because I put the angled grip on everything if I can, because I do think it's just the best grip, since sway is a big deal and ergonomics are a big deal. See, I feel like this build would be improved if you had the Reprimand instead of the Liberator Penetrator. I feel like the Reprimand is just the best, medium 10 automatic weapon. But it's still, a very solid build, because you get carried pretty hard by the gas mines and the Tesla Tower. Okay, let's go deal with this bad boy. Ooh, I lost my chat. What the hell? Get out of here. Drum mag is really good. I see the drum mag. I'm a big drum mag hater, actually. I think drum mags are so overrated. It's crazy. Like an extra 15 ammo for like a huge ergonomic hit is not worth it for me. It is really like I love my ergonomics, so I avoid drum mags like the plague. I really don't think they're as good as people say they are. I much prefer the extended mags if I have a pick. Okay, and that's just 500 kg. This thing, I don't want to deal with that. I think that puts the Deadeye over the sensor for me is the one shot to the helmets. That does make a difference, actually. Stagger to stop berserkers and radicals. But the stagger on the... it doesn't stop berserkers yet, but it does stop radicals. They can't attack if you shoot them with a sensor. Like, they get stun locked. So it is, like, still pretty good against them. But I'd give it a try, actually. Maybe it is better than giving it credit for, just because of the ability... oh, yeah, this isn't the... I have found a weakness in your build. It is stalkers. Having no stagger against stalkers is pretty tough. I used to love the Liberator pen. Yeah, people always love the Liberator pen because it's just like very convenient and easy and like available for free right at the start. So a lot of people like use it quite a bit when they're starting out, but it's just like I don't want to say it's a noob trap, but it is a little bit. Like, I think it feels a lot better to shoot than it actually is. But then you, like, look at what it's doing, and it's, like, taking your entire magazine to kill a single hive guard. And at that point, you might as well just... oh, wow, you didn't actually cheat to follow me through the charge. That's impressive. At this point, like, I think you would just be better with a Liberator Carbine or a Liberator Concussive, like we were just using. I do think it is the worst Liberator by quite a bit. Even the base Liberator, I would say, is better. But I think the base Liberator should just have medium pen at this point. And that's my hot take of the day. Just give the base Liberator medium pen, because people like their medium pen assault rifles. And then turn the Liberator Penetrator into like something else. Let it like actually penetrate through a bunch of enemies or something. I think that would be kind of cool. Okay, skill issue with the ultimatum. Man, I get so trashed with the ultimatum when I haven't played in a while. Yeah, they buffed the charger turn radius. They kind of fixed the charger host bug. Not completely, it still does happen, but instead of happening literally every single time, it only happens some of the time now, which is a big improvement. It's not perfect, but it is a big improvement. Okay. Go some Giga Grenades. Oh yeah, we get 2 Giga Grenades back now, so we can actually spam them. Just fun. The light pen is the first medium pen weapon you get. 65 damage is pretty pathetic, yeah. And people like always say, oh, the Coyote like power crept the lit pen, but you can't power crept something that's like already bad, you know? Like the sterilizer hasn't been power crept because better support weapons got released. It was just bad. And that's like kind of how I feel about this gun. Even though it's definitely not sterilizer bad. Don't take that the wrong way. So, I don't know. I also think this is boring. I fucking hate weapons that are just like, okay, this is a version of another weapon that could have been an ammo type. I think those are so lazy, and I really do not enjoy when Arrowhead does that. That's why I didn't do a video with the Gallant. That's the only thing I didn't cover from the Exo Experts Forbon, because honestly, the Gallant is like the laziest gun possible. It's so uninteresting. Even if it's not bad, it's just like... this is really the most creative thing you could come up with. Weapon we already have, but has medium pen. Yeah, I don't care. The Coyote wasn't even all that. Yeah, especially because it was way better against the squids than it was against the bugs, but it only got nerfed against the bugs. So I really think Arrowhead just did not understand, like, why the Coyote was, like, good, but not as good as, maybe they thought it was. So I don't know, and all the people that wanted the Coyote nerf, there were quite a few, and also just very poor game knowledge, which perpetuated the curse of assault rifles have to stay a bad weapon category, unfortunately, but what can you do? Take the regular lib, because it feels good and the real has aura. I feel like that is actually a case of power creep. I think the Liberator Carbine has completely power crept the, yeah. Whoever said Alpha Warriors were a good enemy, perfect chef enemy, that's why they're not. Just insta-kill, completely silent. I know I'm wearing light armor, but still. Like, if you do that much damage and are that fast, you need a telegraph. It's just not negotiable for me. Because that is always such a tilting way to die, is when a completely silent Alpha Warrior sneaks up behind you and just insta-kills you before you even have the chance to process what's going on. At the end of the day, the nerfs did nothing to the Coyote and executed half of the incendiary weapons. Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem with the blanket nerfs Arrowheads love doing. I don't get why they do that. I mean, with the Coyote, I think it was to try and avoid backlash, but at the same time, did they really think people weren't going to find out that you nerfed the Coyote, like, instantly? Like, people data mine every patch. Like, they know you do hidden changes. This is not, like, a big secret. Like, everybody knows. So I don't even know why they still bother. It's gonna get found out anyway. It's just gonna cause you more problems than if you just had fucking said it in the first place. I am very much missing Stagger in my loadout. And I'll just hurt a little bit. But I'm having a decent time with this. The Liberator Penetrator isn't, like... It's definitely, I think, the best against, I don't know. Like, that is not a good time to kill on a high guard or a medium pen weapon, which would specialize in killing high guards. Really. Or maybe not specialize, but at least be, like, substantially good at it. Okay. Let's break into the Delta GL stocks a little bit. By a little bit, I mean expend 25% of my ammo to kill a handful of enemies. But we're gonna reel it anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. Okay, and get the grenade just for fun. I don't even think I hit anything. Okay. I think we are okay right now. Sub-objective in your vicinity. Oh, there's an argument about the maxi gun. Yeah, the problem with the maxi gun, I mean, there's a lot of it, but I think one of the biggest problems is just how durability works and enemy dead bodies work. Absolutely, like, fucking ruins the maxi gun more so than any other gun, especially the dead bodies. Because at least with other ballistic weapons, like, okay, that warrior's blocking these enemies, I can just stop shooting and reposition. But with the maxi gun, you're just fucked. Like, you just cannot shoot in that direction anymore. And you're too slow to reposition because of just how long it goddamn takes to actually leave the firing animation, which feels awful. So I don't know. The maxi gun is definitely one of the support weapons of all time. But really, I think the problems with the maxi gun are like barely the maxi gun's fault. Aside from the fuck ass input delay when you're trying to leave your firing stance, that one can go right to hell, and that one is the maxi gun's fault. But otherwise, the game just does not really like projectile weapons that much. It is not projectile weapon friendly. Really, there's not much reason to take projectiles over explosives 9 times out of 10, especially when it comes to chaff clear. Chaff clear is especially where explosives like absolutely like mod bullet weapons every single time. That's unironically why I think the Baltec grenade launcher, like, despite the many flaws it has, is still better than the maxi gun in a lot of scenarios. Okay, and let's go get some more ammo. Finally, a grenade worth picking other than thermites and Giga. I don't know, there's a couple good grenades. I like the dynamite quite a bit. I think it's actually really underrated, especially against the bots. Because you can just wipe out bot drops with it really, really effectively. And you can also close fabricators from the outside, which is another really good boon. But, gas grenades are also very, very powerful. I think the only problem with the grenade meta is just heavies are so spammed, and, like, rocket pods and the orbital railgun strikes still are not that good. Like, they need to be as good at killing heavies as chaff tier stratagems are at clearing chaff, and they're just not. They're not bad at it. They're way better than they were before, but they're still not, like, really that competitive with, like, a 500 kg or an Eagle Airstrike. You know, even an Eagle Airstrike, I think you get more out of. And I don't think anybody can call the Eagle Airstrike overpowered in good conscience. I mean, some people will still try anyway, but you'll be wrong and laughed at. Not like that stopped anybody from having bad takes. Certainly has not stopped me. I wish this game had punch through more projectiles. Yeah, that's like what I would rework the Liberator Penetrator specifically to be. Is just like a specialist at just punching through a bunch of small enemies and doing like damage to enemies that are lined up. That's what I would do with this thing. And then I would just make the... Ooh, let's not do that today. No, thank you. I would just make the normal Liberator just medium pen, because why not, honestly? I don't think there should ever be two guns that's just the same, but one has medium pen and does a little less damage. That is just like a waste of this space, honestly, on my hard drive. Why does durable damage even need to exist? See, I don't mind the way durable damage has the potential to make enemies interesting and to like give a niche to certain weapons by giving them really good durable damage, but Arrowhead just doesn't do anything with it. Like, no projectile weapon has good durable damage. Even the ones that really should, like the Deadeye and the Dominator, should do like nearly 100% durable damage, but they do like 20 to 30, which is not that much. So I don't know, I think it's an extremely misused system. And I think I talked about it a little bit in my Hive Guard rework video. But maybe I didn't talk about it there, I just thought I did. I don't remember, that one was a minute ago. And we're clear, and we can just move. Y'all, we're not 100%ing this, but let's at least try to do the main objective. Said that the grenade launcher plus resupply pack is better than the BFGL. It's sad that just the grenade launcher without the supply pack is better than the BFGL, because that's a smaller investment because you're saving your backpack. But I unironically think the default grenade launcher is just better. Like, sure, it can't deal with heavies as well, but it is so much better at clearing chaff that it more than makes up for it. It is kind of weird that Siege soldiers have a medium pen lib with high damage and we don't. It's because it's obvious, like, if it's not even good enough for like NPCs, why is it the first weapon that Helldivers unlock? I feel like the Liberator should be really easy to use and really straightforward jack of all trades. And to me, that's a Liberator Penetrator that does more damage. And then you have like the perfect beginner weapon, which still like really pushes you and rewards you for aiming for weak points and like headshots, especially on the bots. But it doesn't excessively punish you if you miss. And I think that's like what a beginner weapon should be. Like, it encourages you to get better, but it doesn't punish you for not being good already. That's the best way I would explain that. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna need to be my last one. Unfortunately, this mission. We'll try and finish it though. But I'd be down to do more viewer builds. Like, these are things I would not use on my own. Well, I guess really mostly the Liberator Penetrator, because I did just use the BFGL and the squids earlier. Oh yeah, calling in the reinforcements while headless. Absolute classic. Bug front classic. Okay, I kind of stopped you. I think you survived that. There we go. Let's get a resupply here and snipe you out and just keep shooting so you don't call in your reinforcements. Look how much ammo you waste on them after the heads are gone if you actually want to kill them straight up. Yo, cringe, durable damage is hardness from HOE4. I don't really remember the Hearts of Iron 4 mechanics that well. I really did not play that much of that game, surprisingly. It seems like something that would be really down my alley, but I don't like historical games that much anymore. I feel like I just really like science fiction these days. It's still cool, though. I would absolutely play. I mean, there is kind of a Science fiction Hearts of Iron 4, like, it's called Shadow Empire. It's very, like, small indie dev, but, like, actually, I think it's a solo dev. So it's very low production value, but it's really cool. Last I played it, I haven't played it in a long time. Durability system could be reworked into something interesting, but I wouldn't mind doing away with it entirely. See, I think, like, it's too ingrained into the game to just delete it. But at the same time, I do see where you're coming from, where I don't think you're wrong to say it's doing more harm than good in the way it is right now. I don't think that's an incorrect assessment. But at the same time, I think just removing it outright would be, like, it would have so many, like, consequences on so many parts of the game that I don't think it's, like, a realistic thing to do. I should not have thrown the Tesla Tower right in the gas mine field, because it might die from the gas. But actually, now that it's pink here, maybe it'll survive a bit better. Suppose we will see. Yeah, look how fucking full magazine to kill a single hive guard with this thing. I guess no assault rifle's really that good against hive guards, but especially the one medium pen one should be better. Interesting, but I wish it would stop being weaponized to nerf things. You could say that about a lot of things in this game. I think it's a lot of mechanics that have just been used like hammers when they should have been used by, like, scalpels, if that makes sense. Somebody knocked on my door. Is that just my upstairs neighbor being loud as shit? I think that was my upstairs neighbor being loud as shit. Okay, we're fine. Yo, let's take you out. Don't insta-kill me. I'm gonna wait until it becomes a map object. I think it's safe. He says, famous last words. So we're gonna play a game with a civilian. That's called Don't Step on the Green Glowing Landmine. Now, so they... Yeah. They lost the game. There was nothing to be done there. That was their fate was sealed. Plasma weapons need a huge audio rework. I feel like I'm shooting things with a wet pool noodle. I think a lot of audio, like a lot of weapon audio, I feel like has gotten worse. I feel like the Dominator used to sound way punchier and better, and at some point the sound got nerfed on it, and it sounds worse now. But I might be wrong about that. It's like one of those hidden changes, which is just so hard to keep track of. Man, if only there was like a list. Maybe like some kind of note system where you could write down all the changes you made and like have that publicly available so people wouldn't have to guess about what you actually did. That'd be good. That's a crazy topic. Somebody should really invent that. I think that would probably be very popular with video game developers for just how convenient and helpful that would be. Are you gonna attack me from beyond the grave because I'm talking shit? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I know how you work. Personal. This guy's like a personal like agent of Arrowhead developers sent to kill me whenever I criticize something. Don't Step on the Green Glowing Landmine was one of my favorite games when I was little. Well, clearly you were pretty good at it because you're still here. Better at it than that civilian, at the very least. Okay. Hello, Cringe. You shall be my second monitor contact for today. Oh, I'm sorry. We're probably going to wrap up after this mission, unfortunately. But, YouTube automatically uploads the VODs, so I guess you can go back and, get some good second monitor content. I need a second monitor. I'm fucking reading chat messages on my phone, and that is not the optimal way to stream, I can tell you that much. In-game bestiary would be great. Yeah, Arrowhead has this weird obsession with withholding information from people. And sometimes it is really cool when they do that, like when they drop like Shriekers or Factory Striders by secret. But 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work. And it just causes people problems. And if you ever wonder why like there's so much misinformation and people are so wrong about so many things in this game, that's why. It's because people just don't have like official centralized sources of information. Like a lot of these things you have to learn from like the wiki or from just random people telling you about on the Discord. But random people love lying, you know, so you can't really no wonder so many people are so clueless about so many game mechanics. Really, I disagree with that assessment. I disagree with this assessment as well. Okay, more often than not, it seems like chargers actually do respect the host's return reuse bug. Oh, they actually killed me in one go. Okay, something. But yeah, should I keep that clear while I keep doing my civilians? See, I hate this mission not because it's hard, but because it's so boring. This part takes so long, even when you're in a team. It obviously takes longer by yourself, but I still don't like it in a full team of 4. Oh, of course, he's fucking blocking the exit. It's just gonna kill that entire wave. Player made beast fury could be cool, honestly. Yeah, that'd be an interesting way to do it. Like, whenever a new enemy is revealed, like, people need to kill X amount of that enemy. Maybe even parts like a major order. And then, like, all the information gets revealed. So you get the element of surprise and, like, mystery. But you still have, like, the available information later. Okay. A few too many impalers for Wednesdays. Can you, do your bullshit? Alright, well, if you don't want to do your bullshit, I'll do my bullshit. And that's the mission. Oh yeah, that was absolutely my upstairs neighbor. Okay, I hear him again. Oh man, I love well-constructed and well-isolated ceilings and floors. Using samples to conduct research. Yeah, something like that. That would work. I think mobilizing with group objectives is just one thing the game lacks so much of. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like forcing people to play with a certain number of players, like, sucks for me, obviously, because I like solo the best. And that would just mean, like, oh yeah, now there's just content I just can't play. But I think things that are easier to complete in a team is good, you know? I think there is a compromise here where everybody can win. It doesn't have to be a one or the other type deal. Like, solo players don't have to lose for co-op players to win, vice versa. Okay. Let's extract, and then we can just leave, and then we'll probably call it after that. I think a Tesla Tower right now would be pretty good to cut those guys off. We need more unique missions where it's not just call hell bombs. Yep, I really got to get posting that video. The mission design rework. When do I even have time to work on it, man? Because I still want to get my Skitari views while people are still playing Skitari. I actually have like a bunch of cool builds lined up for Skitari. I have a lot. There's so much cool stuff you can do with that class. I even have a half-recorded one with the aimbot braced autogun, which was really fun to play, even if it wasn't very good. Well, it was okay, but if you ran into a lot of crushers, that was not the best build. The braced autogun is not the greatest weapon of all time, but it's still a fun build. But yeah, unique missions are like, I think mission design is genuinely, and this is the clickbait title, maybe not the clickbait title, but like the one of the first things I say in the mission design rework video. It's like one of the areas that Helldivers 2 has been struggling in the most, and it's honestly responsible for so many other problems the game has, like how bad the mission design is. If I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's pretty bad. And I feel like it needs to be like addressed like ASAP. Otherwise we're going to keep having those otherwise avoidable problems, and it's just never going to improve. Okay, I would love another box. Please don't destroy the mines before... Well, I guess some mines still got out, so it's not the end of the universe, but that still does suck a little bit. I would rather have all the mines be deployed than some of the mines. Oh, this is a dead end as well. Let's make an exit. Man, this thing is so fun to shoot. I really wish it was better. I should go right there. That was a little danger close. Always gotta... You cannot take the Giga Grenade not seriously. Oh, you're still alive after all that got me. Okay. I don't like that. Oh, you stopped just long enough I could make enough space, and then we are good. What's up, Valid? Yeah, my Helldivers 2 stopped, like, the streams just get more views. I get it. It's like people watched me, like, or came to the channel for Helldivers 2. So I get that, like, a lot of people aren't interested in, like, Far Far West or Dark Tide. They just want Helldivers 2 stuff. Plus, just more people play Helldivers 2 than those other games anyway. So, it is pretty interesting. I do hope I can, like, reach, like, 30 to 40 viewers, at least for Dark Tide. But last time my audio settings were fucked, so I can't get what nobody wanted to watch it. It was pretty rough. But okay, that's it for the mission. So that build really isn't bad. I had a better time with that than I thought I would. I would probably swap the Liberator Penetrator for something else, though. I don't know if you're still in the chat, the guy who recommended it, but I would either use the Reprimand, especially if you're using Siege Ready, because I think the Reprimand is just kind of better than the Liberator Penetrator, especially against the bugs. It just does way more DPS and way more damage per shot. And then the drag doesn't matter that much because bugs is a close range faction, more or less. And really, that's it. I think the BFGL actually isn't that terrible. I mean, it's definitely not an optimal pick, but this build is fine. I really do think this build is fine. You could also use the Coyote instead of the Liberator Penetrator, but personally, I think the Reprimand would be a little bit more fun. I saw some Wild Wild West. It seemed alright to me. Yeah, it's a game that's like... I think the aesthetic doesn't appeal to most people. It doesn't really appeal to me either, and I think that's holding it back. Even though the gameplay is very good in Far Far West. I like it quite a bit. It's just like, people look at it and they see robot cowboys fighting skeletons, and they're like, okay. Like, maybe this... It's like kind of an aesthetic that I think would have done numbers like maybe 5 to 10 years ago. But at this point, I think people are not too much into that anymore. Bots got more aggressive? I think so. They got spawned, they spawn more, definitely, and they're more accurate ever since Cyberstan. So, in effect, that did make them more aggressive. Favorite Helldivers creator? Oh, thank you. I have some pretty tough competition. There's some really good content creators in Helldivers. I still love... I don't watch them that often anymore, but I still love watching the occasional Takibo video when even your YouTuber needs a YouTube video to watch when he's eating. It's the endless cycle. So I do like putting in a Takibo video when I'm eating. Cringe, what are your criteria for not putting an angled grip on something? The joke answer is if it's not available, but the real answer is weapons that actually are substantially affected by recoil. So, like the Liberator Carbine, for example, I put a foregrip on, or the Suppressor, or like the Knight. Like these weapons that actually do suffer from the fact that they have recoil. Because most weapons, like obviously all the marksman weapons, do not care about recoil at all. Most of the assault rifles, even the Adjudicator, I think has pretty manageable recoil if you're prone, but I don't use the Adjudicator ever, really. But otherwise, I will always pick the angled grip over the foregrip. Because vertical recoil is no big deal. So, if you have mouse and keyboard. I love Takibo, that's what got me into solo diving. Yeah, same. I definitely started solo diving after watching some of his stuff. Okay, but anyway, unfortunately I have a lot of shit to do. So I'm gonna go get doing all that shit. Hopefully I'll be able to post a Dark Tide video in the next couple days and actually finish my mission rework video, because that one I did most of the work. I just need background footage. Low-key I could even use... Oh, I wasn't recording. I'm such a dunce. Well, okay, I can play like one 30-minute mission. I'll find time for that. But anyway, thank you guys for showing up. Always fun to stream. I have a good time doing it. Maybe we'll do viewer games again next time, because those were actually a pretty good time. But otherwise, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one.